Hi guys, Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to do a wonderful tag video. The new Mistborn tag from the wonderful Connor O'Brien, whose channel I will link to below. He tagged me to do this video, I'm assuming because he knows how much I love the Mistborn series. I actually just started the final book in the series, The Hero of Ages, and I'm super excited to be reading it. This is a tag that he created that is kind of based on the magic system in the Mistborn series. For those who haven't read the series, it's a magic system based on something called allomancy, which is basically when somebody has the ability to ingest and then burn different metals that give them different powers. If you can burn all 8 of the metals, then you are considered Mistborn. If you can only burn 1 of the metals, then you're what's called a misting. And yeah, Connor came up with some really cool ideas for kind of each of the metals, so we're just going to get right into the tag. I'm really excited. Okay, the first one is iron, which is a metal in the book that gives you ability to pull metal to you. And so the tag for this is a book that pulled you in based on its cover. And I picked the children's book by A.S. Byatt because it's absolutely gorgeous, I think. Funny story, I bought this completely on a whim because of the cover. That's why it's the answer for this tag. But also, I have read some of the other works by this author, and I did not like them at all. Like, at all. So I'm kind of wary about reading this one, because I'm not entirely sure I'm going to like it. But I still have it on my shelves, because every time I do a haul, I just look at it again, and I think it's just so absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. The next part of the tag is steel, which is a metal that gives you the ability to push other metals away from you. And this is a book that pushed you to be a better person. I actually recently did the Be a Good Human tag. I believe it was last Friday, actually. So I will link to that down below, because that is a whole video about books that have made me a better person. But another book that wasn't in that video that has done the same thing is A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. This book was turned into the movie Simon Birch, but the movie I think is just an absolutely awful adaptation. John Irving is an amazing author. He's one that I'm kind of very slowly have read some of my way through. I read this one, I read Cider House Rules, and I read one more. I don't remember which one. But anyway, he's a New England writer who writes about New England. The character of Owen Meany in this book, I think, is one that you kind of either love or hate, and I absolutely loved him. This book, I think, really teaches you so much about friendship and family and trust and forgiveness and the past and the power of the past and just so many things. So yes, great book. Give it a read if you haven't. The next one is tin. Tin in the Mistborn books allows you to have heightened senses, so like heightened sense of sight or hearing. So the category for this one is a book that you kind of sensed the ending to before it happened, but that you loved anyway. And I picked Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. You could also sub in Anna and the French Kiss or Isla and the something. I don't remember her most recent one. I haven't actually read it yet. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, now it's going to bother me. Anyway, Lola and the Boy Next Door is an absolutely adorable story about a girl named Lola and a boy named Cricket. It's YA contemporary romance. It's super predictable, but it's absolutely ice cream, cotton candy delicious. And I read every page of it happily, even knowing, like, basically from the outset what was going to happen. The next one is pewter. Pewter in the books gives you an increased physical strength. So it makes you stronger. It makes you, a bigger brute, all of these things. And so this is a book that made you physically stronger from having to carry it around because it's so big. And I picked one of my old school books, The Norton Anthology of Children's Literature. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't it huge? I, as you guys probably know, it's heavy to hold up already. I was an English major in school, but more than that, I kind of specialized within the English department in children's literature. So I had to carry this book around for probably like 2 years solid. So much of it has been edited. There are so many other notes. My favorite part is that in the middle there's a section where they talk about picture books. So they include some of the pictures, but yes, this book is huge. It weighs a good, like, probably 3 to 4 pounds just on its own. It's ridiculous. I'm going to put it down now because it's really heavy. But yes, that is a book that literally made my back and arm muscles stronger from having to carry it around and prop it up while I was reading it for like a year. Next is brass. This is an element in the book that kind of helps people, or that if you burn, helps soothe people emotions, kind of helps them feel calmer, helps them relax. It calms them down. And so this was a book that left you feeling numb. We're just gonna like skip the Harry Potter one on this one because I feel like that's kind of a given answer and I just don't even want to go there. So instead I picked Dreams of Gods and Monsters, which is the final book in the not Girl of Fire and Thorns, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. This book I read the first two like after they'd already come out, but before the third one. So I powered through the first two, but then I had to wait. And I was so on the edge of my seat, and I was so desperate to find out what happened between Karoo and Akiva. And they are probably one of my favorite OTPs in literature, especially in young adult fantasy literature. They are like my top OTP for life. But yes, this book, I finished it, and it was one of those things where I felt so many feels, and I had so many emotions that I was just like, it was too much. I was overwhelmed by them. I just ended up like shutting down for like a good solid like 10 minutes and just feeling absolutely numb. Next is zinc. This is a metal in the Mistborn books that allows you to riot people's emotions or get them feeling more excited, more angry, more up. And so this is a book that left you feeling angry. For that, I picked Bel Canto by Ann Patchett. Anybody who's read this book will probably know what I'm talking about, but the ending of this book left me absolutely infuriated. Absolutely infuriated. I literally was in a car. I was in the back of my parents' van. We were taking a road trip, and I literally threw it from my seat across the car and was just like, I'm done with this book when I got to the ending. It was absolutely, I'm not even necessarily thinking, like saying it was a bad ending or an ending that didn't fit, but I was so mad. I'm still so mad. I want to reread this book so badly, but I don't want to reread the ending because I was so mad. I was so mad. So mad. So mad. This is copper. Copper is an element that allows you to kind of hide yourself from other people using allomancy. If you have copper and you burn it, it kind of puts like a shield around you so that other people burning metals can't see you. So this is the tag for this one is a character in a book who has to keep a secret or something really bad's going to happen. And I picked the Amulet of Samarkand by Jonathan Stroud. This is the first in the Bartimaeus trilogy. In this book, the main character, Nathan, steals a very, very like powerful magical object, the Amulet of Samarkand. It's right there. There it is. You can see it. And he like hides it in his own master's office. His own master is also a magician, and it's like a huge deal because the guy he stole it from is very powerful, so no one can find out. And he enlists Bartimaeus, who's this genie, to help him with this crime, and Bartimaeus knows, but it's like this, it's a huge secret. I had mixed reviews about this one. I think I gave it like a 3 stars. I didn't love it. There were parts where the main character really frustrated me and where I felt it really went on too long, but it's one of my husband's favorite series, so I'm hoping to get to the next one eventually just because I feel like I need to do that for him. I feel like I need to read them for him. I was not crazy about the first one. Also, yeah, for cracked spines, woohoo! That's how it rolls here in this house. The next metal is bronze, and bronze is a metal in the Mistborn books that allows you to detect other allomancers or other people who are burning metals kind of around you. So the category for this book is a book that you've heard a lot about but haven't read yet, and for that I picked it's so floppy. I picked the first in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, The Eye of the World. I have the first one because I've heard such amazing things about it. It's such a classic like pillar of fantasy, but it's so huge. Like there are I think like 14 or 15 books. They're all like multiple hundreds and hundreds of pages long, like 5, 6, 7, 800 pages, and I just don't know if I have the commitment to get into something that's that long. Robert Jordan actually didn't even get to finish writing the series. He left very detailed notes, and Brandon Sanderson actually ended up finishing up the books. So that is what I picked for bronze. I'd really like to read them because they're supposed to be so good, but yeah, like I said, I just don't know if I have the energy to make that commitment. That's me. That's, keeping it 100. And lastly, the last one is the Mysterious Ninth Metal, which is a metal that is better than, or a metal, which is kind of a mysterious metal that we don't know much about, but that is assumed to be incredibly powerful. And for that, the tag is the best book series or the most powerful book series that you've read, one that just blows all the other ones away. And for me, I'm just going to have to go ahead and give the obvious answer is Harry Potter. Any Harry Potter book. The first book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, completely floored me when I read it when I was in the fifth grade. I'd never read anything like it. And since then, I have just been such a member of that Harry Potter fandom and generation that it's hard to compare any other book to that in terms of the importance it's had in my life and how good I think it is as a series. Even if some of the individual books aren't the greatest, I'll try and put the cover of the first one here, although I'm sure you know what they look like. Most of mine are actually at my mom's house, my parents' house, in my childhood closet because I just never wanted to take them anywhere so I could keep them safe. So that's where they are. I should probably get them sometime soon. But yeah, that is the Mistborn tag that Connor created. I'm so glad that he tagged me and that I got to do this tag and to show it to you guys. I will go ahead and tag anybody whose name the channel name starts with or contains the letter V for Vin or the letter K for Kelsier, the two like kind of main characters of the first Mistborn book. So if that's you, please feel free to do this tag. Also, if you just happen to love the Mistborn books and want to do it, feel free. Please go ahead and leave me any thoughts that you have down below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in different places around the internet. Bye.